Me okay? All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. You guys excited? We finally got a little break in the clouds this morning. Was really muggy. That yesterday evening, as I was heading to the office too, was a little muggy as well. But I think we have a little break of some sun. Yeah, I can't wait till the summer, right? Just around the corner. Well, thank you, everyone. Welcome to our next team meeting. Can you believe it's already the 7th of May already, and right in the cusp of summer, right? Usually the best time right now for buyers, sellers, and investors to get in the market of buying, so it's a good time. So let's go ahead and get started. Going to be Natalie today. I'm not going to be saying next slide, please. So you know how we like to start it here at South Bay with our mission, our beliefs, and our vision to provide agents with a place where they will be empowered, trained, and motivated to experience growth, wealth, and legacy that allows them to live their best life possible. Our belief, when the values of your own company align with your own beliefs, you know you found your professional home. Our vision, to achieve amazing professionals and personal development so that KW South Bay remains the agency of choice. Absolutely. Yes. All right. Friendly reminder. Our staff will be out tomorrow, Thursday, May 8th, in observance to Red Day. Who is coming to Red Day tomorrow? Yes. And the events that we have here at the office, this is one that I really truly admire. This is a day that we give back to the community. Now, we've been doing this now for lots of years, and it really just resonates with me and how big this event is for the South Bay office. Now, just a little backstory that you probably some of the newer agents that don't know, Red Day is in contributions to Mo Anderson, right? So every year on the second week of May, and I'm talking all KWs, not just here locally, but also internationally across the US, they stop doing business and they give back to the community. Isn't that so cool? Yeah. We just happened to do one of the best ones, which, one of the best, where we actually get the local media involved. Yeah, we get the news coming in and doing a quick little bio of what Red Day is all about. So be in the lookout, and by all means, if you want to say something to the newscast, do so. Don't be intimidated by the cameras. So that's tomorrow. So the office will be closed, okay? But if you do need to come into the office, please make sure to have your fob, okay? Because the staff is all going to be there tomorrow, bright and early, helping with setup, okay? So any questions regarding tomorrow's Red Day? Everyone knows what they need to do? Okay. So is staff going to be here tomorrow? No. Okay. What do you need to get into the office? Okay. Awesome. Or just don't show up. Yeah, Red Day instead of here. But if you have questions that you need to meet with, by all means, make sure you have your fob. Most of us staff will come back after Red Day, but that's going to be in the afternoon. Okay. So just FYI. Cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and continue. Make sure you bring your fob and your keys. And we're still looking for volunteers. I think we have a pretty good participation. But again, if you're still on the fence, please make it doesn't matter if you don't come in that early. Just come in and just be part of this amazing event tomorrow. Okay, so it starts at 9:00 and it ends at 2:00. It's at Wilson Park. Everyone know where Wilson Park is at? Okay. It's off of Crenshaw. You go north on Crenshaw, you pass Sepulveda, and it's like half a block from there on the right side. Now, if you're familiar with Wilson, we're going to be on the back end of the park, not on the front, okay, where the baseball and the hockey area. No, we're going to be on the very, very back where the train is at. That's where so you'll see the directionals. I know the office has some open house directionals that will be guiding you if you're coming from Crenshaw or from the other side. Just be on the lookout. You can always reach out to me myself as well and text me, hey, I'm lost. I don't know where it's at. I'll guide you into it. I'll even go pick you up if I need to. So, okay. Questions regarding tomorrow's event? All right. So here it is. So this is Crenshaw. All right. This is pointing south, or excuse me, north, and then down is south. So if you're coming from either part of Crenshaw, you go in through this. This is the front of the park. We're going to be on the back side here. Okay. So we're going to have directionals pointing here. You go through the back. There's some condominiums up here. Then just follow the directionals. You'll see the private driveway. And then you'll see all the parking here, okay? Now, I'm going to let you know, if you don't come early enough, this area gets packed with vehicles, okay? Gets packed. But it's okay. There is parking here on Lot E. There's parking here on Lot D. If you park in Lot D, you're just going to have to cut through the park, okay? Just have to do a little bit of walking. If you park on Lot E, it's not too bad. Just make your way down south into the area. You'll see all of the agents in their Red Day t-shirts are all red, okay? So that's where we'll be. Any questions? Okay, no questions. All right, cool. All right, well, let's introduce our guest speaker and our food sponsor, Mr. Woo Kim.
We got the who. Let's go. Yeah, back in here. What's going on, everybody?
Oh, great.
All right, so here's what we're going to do today. I was just here 2 months ago, but we're not going to talk about digital business cards today. My name is Woo. I'm the founder of LinkMe with the digital business card, but screw that for today. Today's goal is this. I have a presentation for you guys this fine afternoon, and it's either going to be the best presentation you've ever seen or the worst presentation you've ever seen, or somewhere in between. That is a promise. You can take that to the bank. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about your online presence, and the reason for that is because who here believes real estate is a referral-based business? Okay, good, awesome. Yeah, I was concerned over there. I didn't see any hands over there. Okay, cool. So my dad actually was working with his clients, and he got 3 agents referred to him. What do you think is the first thing my dad did when he got 3 agents referred to him?
Google.
Searched. Yes, Googled him. The first thing he did was he went up to Google and looked up James Smith Realtor, first last name Realtor, and based on what he sees online, will dictate what agent he gives a call. Right. So before we get started, your guys' homework for today is when you get out of this meeting, please go home and Google yourself. And don't do this right now. Google yourself and see if you like it. And so what I have prepared for you guys is 2 real life examples of real estate agents. One has a weak online presence. The other has an amazing online presence. So I want you guys to feel the difference, and I'll show you kind of the action steps. So with that said, who is this guy? My name is Woo. That's a picture of me when I used to have hair. My wife shaved it off for the summer. So I don't have hair right now, but I used to have hair then. And I was a former electrical engineer, and now I help agents bring in more clients using digital tech. All right, so we're going to audit your online presence, and it would have been cool if I picked an actual agent from your office, but I didn't want to embarrass anybody. So I just picked one random agent with her license to show you what I'm going to do. The goal today is to make you look like a top producer when people Google your name. Why? Because you can demand higher prices because of social proof, get more referrals, and get more people to call you to list or buy their home. That's why we do this. So with that said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at your current online visibility, well, this example agent's current online visibility, and we're going to compare that to a top producer in you guys' market. And I'll show you some key branding gaps and action steps to elevate your digital presence. And at the end of the presentation, you'll know exactly what to do to look like a top producer online. And the key point here is to look. You don't have to be a top producer, but if you look like one, you are one. It is what it is. All right, so yay, that's good. All right, so here's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at 5 things: Google presence, website quality, social media, branding, and professionalism. And we're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. So we're going to look at Google first. Google is the largest search platform in the world, as you guys are well aware. So it is crucial to have an amazing Google presence. So I'm going to give you an example of a weak online presence first. This is Joyce Beckman, the actual real estate agent. I went up to Google and I looked up Joyce Beckman Realtor. The first link that pops up is a generic profile page from Realtor.com. Every real estate agent nowadays has that. Second link is her LinkedIn, nothing too special there. Third link is some US phone books website that has nothing to do with real estate. And the sad part is, this is what so many agents look like online. And so I'll compare that, genericrealtor.com, good can be better, I will show you a good example of what an awesome online presence looks like. Oh, sad face. Okay, this is Evelyn. She's one of our clients, she uses her card. I Googled Evelyn T. Realtor. And what's the first thing that catches your eye?
Picture.
Her picture, yes. On the right-hand side, this is called your Google Business Profile. Can you raise your hand if you have a Google Business Profile? Okay, by the time I come here next, I better see everybody raise their hand because the reason why they're Googling her name, chances are they probably got her business card or her contact card texted to them from a friend of theirs. So when they see a picture of you, immediately, what do? They can immediately see what you look like. And so that's good. And her name is Evelyn T, not just Evelyn T Real Estate, not just Evelyn T Realtor, but she actually specifies her niche. Mission Viejo Realtor, 300 plus families served across Orange County. If I wanted to list my home in Orange County and I look at this, I think she could probably get the job done. So super important to include your niche here. She has 94 5-star reviews, a lot of arrows, just follow along. Her phone number is right up top, super easy for people to contact her. 81 5-star reviews on Zillow, 3 on Realtor.com, 13 on Yelp, and you see her website, evelynt.com. Now, that looks gold, that looks solid. So we're gonna compare it side by side. Joyce Beckman had no website, 0 reviews, no niche, no Google business profile, little presence, and I honestly can't tell if she's still in business. So she gets 1 out of 5. On the other side, Evelyn T, she has a website, a lot of reviews, yes on niche, Google business profile, great presence. She's obviously producing, she gets a 5 out of 5. So the question at this point is, if you get 2 agents referred to you, you look them up and they look like this. Which one are you calling? Yeah, this one, right. So which one would you hire? Yes, on the right. So Google presence, we looked it up, 1 versus 5. Let's go to website quality next. Your website is the first place people visit after Googling your name. And so we're going to look at Evelyn's website first. This is Evelyn's website. First thing that I notice is, wow, this looks super clean. Her branding right here, Evelyn T Homes. Her domain is evelynt.com, looks professional. Her phone number right up top over there. And I think this is a picture of Dana Point. So it's within her niche. And if we scroll down, could you click on, yeah. There we go. Yeah, if we scroll down, we see some of her stats. Work with us, 300 plus closed sales, total volume, price range, average price. So important to include your stats. It'll provide them real context on what you did. And so many agents ask me, hey, Wu, I haven't closed 300 clients yet. What do? I got you. Instead of putting 300 plus closed sales, you can put 4.9 out of 5 customer satisfaction. Anybody can put that, even if you're brand new. You can definitely include price range and average price in your city or your market. Her picture, her bio, and also her online lead capture. So for those reasons, she has a custom domain, super clean, easy to contact her. Yes, on consistent headshot. This headshot we also saw on her Google page, and she has an online lead capture, actively building her email list. So we're going to give her 5 out of 5. Your website, with Joyce Beckman's website, she didn't have one. Sorry, Joyce, but you get a 0 out of 5. Now you know why I picked Joyce, not an actual agent from me. South face again. All right. So we're going to go to social media activity next. So we're going to look at Instagram and Facebook. And yes, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, also important. But Instagram and Facebook are the 2 most popular social media platforms right now. So we're going to look at those right now. So this is Evelyn. Starting with Evelyn. First thing first, her username. Evelyn T Homes, the same name we saw on her website. Evelyn T Homes, consistent username, super important. Consistent headshot. Every platform that we went onto, we saw the same picture. We didn't have to second guess ourselves. And if we look at her bio, short, punchy bio with instant proof, 300 plus families served, total volume, and her niche, serving Orange County and beyond. And her phone number, again, is right up there in her bio, easy to contact her. And anybody know what highlights are?
No.
Does anybody here who don't know what highlights are?
We don't have to put in highlights.
Yeah, yes, okay, yeah. It's a group of story posts that you can combine into one. So for example, this one says open house. If I click on this, it'll show me every open house story post that she made all in one. Also within her branding, right? Color matches, looks awesome. And if we look at her feed, Instagram feed, you can see she's been posting consistently. Well, you actually can't see that, but I saw she's been posting consistently 1 to 2 posts per week. And a lot of these are video-based content. Anybody here use Canva and just kind of post Canva post templates? Okay, those work, but I highly recommend that if you have a new listing or if you just sold a property, instead of just putting just sold, your picture, price, and a picture, no one cares. You're gonna get like 3 likes. Instead, what we want to do is actually just pull out your camera on the property that you just sold, just walk around the property for 20 seconds. That's all you need to put with some background music. Your face doesn't even have to be in it, and just put just sold 1.75 Tustin, California. That'll get a lot more engagement just having than a single picture post. All right. So Joyce actually didn't have an Instagram. So at this point, it actually makes me think maybe she's not in business. So no bueno. So she didn't have Instagram. We're gonna go over to Facebook next. Anybody here know the difference between Facebook page and a Facebook business page? Yes, go ahead.
Facebook business page is basically where your business is housed. Your Facebook personal page actually covers your business page.
Yes, you nailed it. So the only thing you have to remember is when you have a personal page, you can't put your contact info here. In other words, when people, if you have a personal Facebook and people find you, they can't call you because your phone number, you can't put your phone number in here. You're legally not allowed to do that on a personal page. So create a business page if you haven't yet already, and put your contact info here along with your picture, your name. And over here it says she updated her cover photo 6 days ago, letting us know that she's active on Facebook. So if you're not posting consistently, at least try to do at least once a month. So whenever people go onto your page, they will see, okay, she's active. She posted this month. All right. We just covered all that. Her niche is in here again. Mission View and OC homeowners. And Joyce didn't have Facebook. So I'm sorry, Joyce, but it's not looking good. Sad face. So, comparing it side by side, Evelyn had Instagram and Facebook, consistent branding, her pictures align and her branding aligns, the colors and also her brand, Evelyn T. Homes. Easy to contact her. Instagram, she has her phone number here. Facebook, she has her phone number here. Super easy to she makes it really easy for you to be able to call her. Yes, a social presence, so she gets a 5 out of 5. Joyce, unfortunately, gets 0 out of 5. Sorry, Joyce. All right, we're gonna cover 2 more things, and we'll go over to the professionalism. Your branding consistency. So we're gonna look at Joyce's first. She gets a 0 because when I Googled her name, the only information that I found out about her is that she's a real estate agent. That's it. And that's about it. No website, no social media, no reviews. I don't know how to contact her. Your phone number's not there. And I can't tell if you're still in business. 0 out of 5. Evelyn, I know she's an agent and I know her niche. Everywhere I went, her website, her Google page, her social media, it said OC Homes. Consistent headshot and logo. She didn't. I didn't have to second guess myself. Am I looking at the same person? No, it was the same person. She has lots of reviews, so I trust her. Easy to contact her. She's obviously producing. She looks like an expert within her niche. And at this point, I'd like to cover reviews real quick. If you haven't yet closed a lot of business, I understand you're probably not going to get 90 plus reviews from your past clients. But did you know you can also ask, bless you, did you know you can also ask your colleagues, your broker, fellow agents in your office, anybody who can make a comment about your work ethic or a character can write your review. So there's about 50 or so people in here. That means honestly, no bullshit aside, with no bullshit. You guys can all walk out of here with 55-star reviews today. So get in the habit of contacting your lender, your title guy, your stager, your drone guy, and just ask them to write you a review. And you can write them a review too. So you can exchange reviews.
I'll experiment with that. I'm gonna have everyone put a review on me.
There you go. All right. There you go.
Want to know?
And Simon, I write you guys a review too. All right, so we're gonna look at professionalism as a last column. So let's go. Your professionalism versus your competitors. We're looking at Joyce here. She gets 1 point for having LinkedIn. It is good. So she gets 1 point. However, no reviews, no website. I don't see any of your past listings or clients she's worked with. I don't see your number. So how do I call you? 1 out of 5. Your competitors, professionalism. This says Evelyn. Professional web design, personal domain name, evelynt.com. And her email address was also evelyn@evelynt.com. It wasn't evelyn@gmail. It was evelyn@evelynt.com. Lots of reviews from past clients. However, I didn't see a way for me to book a private consultation. You guys heard of like Calendly or Google Calendar? Google Calendar is free. Instead of having clients, hey, what time works best for you? Here's my availability. Oh, that doesn't work for me. Here's my calendar link. Pick a time that works best for you and I'll see you there. Have a calendar link where they can book a meeting with you. It's free if you use Google Calendar. All right, so here's the total scoreboard. Joyce got 2 out of 25, and Evelyn got 24 out of 25. That's a 12x difference. And so my point is this: Evelyn is not looking 2 to 3 times better than Joyce. She's literally looking 12 times better than Joyce to the eyes of potential clients. And I want to drill this point home. Customers will always choose what they perceive as high value. And so, yes. And I promised you that at the end of the presentation, I'll show you exactly what to do to look like a top producer like Evelyn. But before I do, was that helpful?
Yes.
Okay, so I just oh no, that's not a good word. I just drilled you guys on the importance of having reviews. So this presentation took me about 5 hours to make. So if you don't mind pulling out your camera, scanning this QR code, it'll take you to our Google page. Just give me a 5-star review. I'm just practicing what I preach. You don't have to say anything. Just scan, click 5 stars, and click post. That'll mean a lot to me. I'll give you 20 seconds to do that. Thank you. Gotta practice what I preach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you 15 seconds. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
No, that's smart on your part. Present and you say, oh, by the way.
By the way, yeah. So you can, if you have a Google page, you can actually text it to people. So you can start texting it to your friends and family, your colleagues, everybody today. And I hope you guys stack more reviews. All right, so I'm going to show you some of the action steps like I promised you guys. Here are 13 steps to look like Evelyn. You might want to take a picture of this. It's a lot. 13 things. She had a Google business profile set up. She had a website with IDX integration. She had a high quality headshot plus agent bio, online lead capture form to build her email list, Zillow and Yelp optimization, SEO, that just means your website actually pops up on Google, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube setup, social media, professional email signature, custom domain, blah, 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 branding materials, all that stuff. Yes. You're welcome. That's a lot of stuff. So with that said, I just showed you everything that Evelyn had that Joyce didn't have. So use your time and do the 13 things. But if you're too busy and want more help, you can book a call with our team. We'll actually use you in place of Joyce, and we'll just rip you apart and show you what you're missing. It's free, but if you book it, it takes us about like an hour to prepare the report. So show up if you actually booked it. We're basically just going to be doing the same thing, but with your information. So if you want to do that, just scan this QR code. It'll go to my Google Calendar, again, private booking link, and you can book a time. It'll take an hour. My team will rip you into pieces, and I'll show you what you're missing. Again, it's free. So with that said.
So what happened after that? Let's say that you book
Yeah, so we're gonna do the same thing that you just saw with you versus Evelyn, and then I'll show you what you're missing, and then you can work with that.
and then you have like a fee, how do you handle the fee?
Are you talking about if you want to hire us?
Yeah.
We're expensive, so I would suggest that you do it yourself, but if you wanted to hire us,
Nice.
yeah, we're gonna be expensive. So I just want to let you know.
So is it a scorecard that you dissect the social presence?
Yeah,
of
we
an individual
basically,
agent?
correct.
Okay.
Your Google presence, your website, your social presence, branding, and professionalism. I'm going to show you what you need to do regardless. Don't hire us because we're expensive. It's going to take 3 weeks of our time to do everything. That's why we're expensive. But Regardless, you'll know exactly what you need to do. You can hire VAs to do it, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. All right, well, thanks for having me, everyone.
I love your energy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was it good or was it good? Thank you very much. That appointment, please book that appointment at least to dissect your social presence, and at least you'll get to know where you stand, right? I'm curious to know where I stand, and I constantly check, and I see a lot of presence on my profile, but what I don't have, it's something that just resonates with me, is actually having my Google reviews. I think that's important to have because it really just helps in the stickiness of recruiting and retention as well. So good information. Did you see value on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely did. And he's high intensity, full of energy. He
Yeah.
must be drinking those C4 drinks.
Or something else.
That's what I'm gonna have. That's what I'm gonna have tomorrow morning. So that way I can move things. I mean, my car today is gonna be full of all kinds of stuff for tomorrow.
See
So
what
I
he's
don't have to
taking, what he's
worry.
drinking, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have to worry. But yes, C-TIC 10, right, exactly. Yes. I appreciate it. I gotta create one, I think, still. So, awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and continue. Next up, we got Fernando Diaz with CMG Home Loans. I wonder if he's bringing chocolates.
The candy guy.
A candy guy, right? Yeah, Mr. Candy Guy.
The sweet guy.
We're gonna keep it simple. The Fed had their meeting today or yesterday and today, and nothing happened, which was expected, sorry. But we are getting a little bit of a pullback, I would say, over the last 2 days more because of other economic indicators that are behind it. I still say the tariffs and the budget bill are very, very important. I would almost say the budget bill is even more important to a certain extent for long-term investment and people wanting to get in. They want to know how much stability we're going to have with taxes. So that we'll see what happens, obviously there. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples that have happened over the last 7 days. Is inventory higher today than it was a year ago?
Yes.
No.
Hold this.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to give them one just for being wrong. No. Who else said yes? All right, you get ready to catch? All right, now, are days on market now longer today than they were a year ago?
Yes.
Who said longer over here? No. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. You raised his hand too. Didn't you raise your hand? No? Okay, forget it. Here. All right. Now, what about price reductions? Do you see them more today than you did a year ago?
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of yeses. Look at that. All right. I saw you nod, so I'm gonna give you, this gives you. And then over there, you nodded too, or raise your hand. Let's see. I know Simon really likes these, so I'm gonna give him one now before they all go. I know. Before they're all gone. Okay, so what does all this mean? Well, a couple things. This week and last, 2 clients, once again, as you guys are looking in these neighborhoods and tracking these listings, okay? Remember the buy downs, it was hot for a while and then it sort of got quiet. Well, these realtors are being very aggressive. One got a $27,000 credit on a house that obviously was sitting probably 30 days or more, okay, in the Long Beach Lakewood area. And another one got one, I think it's Hawthorne or Gardena, okay? Not 27,000, I think they got like 17 or 18. All right, so if you're aggressive out there and your clients can take advantage of these situations, because this might be the difference between not comfortable and all of a sudden comfortable. Hey, you know what? I can have a rate at 4.7 versus 6.7 to start. Wow, that's a big improvement for them. Right? They're very happy. Okay, so that's number one. Be aware of that. Number 2, renovation loans. Okay, we have one in Inglewood where the client wanted Inglewood for that area, but it was a little, I think like an 870 square foot house, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. And they bought it and they're going to make it a 3-2 with a renovation loan. So now they're going to get what they want in the neighborhood they want, and they're probably going to come out ahead with equity. Okay. So that's a big one to be aware of. We have another client, that was a deal. He bought his house a year ago in Lomita, but it took him a year. Actually, it took him about 14, 15 months to get everything approved. 2 bedroom, 1 bath for like $725 on a 7,000 or 8,000 square foot lot in Lomita. He's making it now a 3-2. But his lot's so big, the city's allowed him to build a 2-bedroom ADU behind the garage, not above it, so he doesn't have to spend the extra money to support it. He's up like almost 200,000 because the appraisal that came in has to also present the future or the future value of what it would be once it's finished. So he's about $1 million all in, and he's at 1.2 right now. with, I don't know how much rent he's gonna get for that, maybe $3,500, $3,000 for that unit too. So he's sitting pretty.
That's a refinancing that is doing.
Yeah, he got it. He knew it was gonna be a while to get all this approved, and now he's refinancing it into a renovation loan for that. What's that?
It's a different rate when it's.
Slightly, but yeah, slightly. He's doing a conventional renovation loan. Yeah, yes,
So
questions?
the renovation laws work, like, is that too long?
Oh my God. How much time do we have, Simon? No, I'm kidding. No. I would say they're easy. I've done tons of those things. I even know the HUD consultant in LA, he calls me and gives me business. His name's Tom Andrews. So depending, I would say, call me, I'll give you my card and let's talk about it. That way, I don't, because it is an explanation, but it's not hard at all. Okay, so that's one thing I will tell you. People are, I think if anything, listing agents don't even know. So when you see cash only, renovation, right? That's a great way to get your client into a crappy house and then they can make it what they want. Okay. And also what people don't realize is if you have an investor or a flipper competing for that house, he's got to have a certain price down here, right? So that he can come out, try to make some money, but not an owner user, right? They can actually give a seller a higher net and take the house. And then, but the cabinets they want, the floors they want, the appliances they want, the windows they want, not the cheap ones that I'm sure the flipper's going to use and all that, right? To get it done as cheaply as possible, right? So there are big advantages to it. And I mean, we close them in 30 to 45 days, depending on the scope of work. And then the work gets done later. Don't forget, it doesn't get done up front. It gets done after the close. So that's it. Unless you guys have any other questions on rates or
I'm
anything.
just trying to figure out, because, when I'm talking to different clients, I'm trying to figure out how to, relay that information to them. Like, that's what I was wondering, is it generally like a higher interest rate?
Barely.
Is it a secondary?
Barely. Yeah.
Is it a secondary?
Nope, 130 or fixed. Yep. And we hold the money to the side for the construction after the close. And then we disperse it out to them, to the contractor and the client. Yeah. Yep. Anything else? Nope.
But that is okay, that is.
I have not looked, but I saw a price improvement and we had a price improvement yesterday. So I'm gonna say mid sixes on some of the products, maybe low sixes, high fives on certain government loans. And jumbo is probably mid sixes, I would say today, from what I saw a couple days ago, something like that. Yep. Yep. Anything else? That's good. Nope. Anybody want a candy? So we can get rid of this stuff? Let's get it. Simon, more good? All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you. That was the shock.
All right, good stuff. Well, let's go ahead and continue. Let's see. All right, listing pitches, buyer needs and wants. Any coming soon, just listed? Yes, Fred.
The property I talked about last week
Yeah.
is open and available for showing. It'll be delivered completely vacant on 93rd Street for $645 is the starting price. So it has a Supra on it for the front unit. The tenant in the back will be moving out. So get your buyers out there.
Beautiful. Thank you, Fred. Anyone else? Coming soon? Yes, Coco.
Got a bedroom bath. And Riverside. RV access. And a whole side yard. It's a really beautifully manicured single story.
Yeah.
With paid off solar, no HOA.
Yeah.
It's 25. It's a real killer deal.
Okay, can you repeat it for the people on Zoom? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, of course. So
Yeah.
it's Riverside, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,410 square feet.
Yeah.
Single story, nicely appointed throughout, doesn't need a reno at all. It's totally ready to go. It has no HOA, beautifully manicured yard. And solar paid off. I mean, it's a really killer deal. $625.
625. Okay, awesome. Awesome, good. Anyone else? Brian, come up here. Just for the people on Zoom can hear you as well.
Gotcha.
Awesome. How you doing?
Good. We just listed today a townhouse in Koreatown, 2-bedroom, 2-bath,
Okay.
newer built. It was built in 2017, I believe. Going to be listed at 735, 1,085 square feet. It's very nice. We also have,
Does it have HOA?
yes, at HOA, it's a lower HOA. Let me see. 530. Yeah.
Let's know that.
We also have a single family coming up in Rosamond, which is just just north of Lancaster.
Okay.
5-bedroom, 2-bath, In about a couple weeks, it'll be on the market, but it's gonna be a lower force.
Okay,
And then another condo in Harbor City, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, coming up in like 3 weeks, and that's gonna be in the mid-5s.
fantastic, awesome, good job.
Thank you.
That's been working, yeah, Joanne, yeah, come on up, Joanne. What you got for us, Joanne?
Have a condo in Palm Desert coming up probably sometime in May. It's fully furnished and it's gonna be for about $550. And it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, and it actually rents really well too.
Okay,
So
HOA,
HOA is about $765, I think, a month.
okay,
So yeah.
all right, awesome, good. Eric,
It's a single family residence, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom in Torrance. Next Thursday will be the Brokers Open. There'll be tacos and music, so.
tacos, so you got me on tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep this going.
Okay.
So, thank you. So anyone else? What's the address? What's the address again?
23730 Walter Avenue in Torrance, near Lomita and Crenshaw. It's 1.35 and 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
Fantastic, awesome, beautiful, awesome. An activity this week, that's awesome. Good stuff. All right, well, let's go ahead and continue. Different updates. So with a couple stuff that I'm hearing, a lot of stuff that I'm seeing right now with CRMLS. So 5 most common violations with the MLS, okay? You ready?
Yes.
All right. Stay compliant, avoid fines, and protect your license, obviously, and more so the fines that CRMLS has. So number 1, missing required photos, okay? So if you don't have at least one exterior photo, it's a violation, okay? Now they give you a warning, but if you don't see that email, ultimately you're going to get fined, and that fine, I believe, is $250, okay? And if you don't pay that fine, they have the right to shut your MLS, okay? So you need to have at least one exterior photo on the MLS to be in compliance with the rules and regulations. Number 2, agent branding and photos. All right, so I see this quite often. If there's a for sale sign on that's considered a violation. No, you cannot have any type of branding in any of the photos that you have uploaded on the MLS, okay? Not even a photo of yourself saying, this listing is mine, okay? No pets, no photos of anyone else, okay? Make sure that if you use a professional photographer that they Photoshop it or do not use it as part of your images, okay? So even an open house sign, that's a no-no. Anything that says about you and your brand, that's a violation. They'll immediately remove it, but they'll send you a warning first to remove it. And if you don't, and they do it, that's a fine and you're going to be penalized, okay? Questions regarding number 2?
Yeah, again, makes it confused there a bit. How you.
When you take photos of a listing, okay? Exterior of the home, bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens. Most times I've seen that if there's a picture of a for sale sign with your name, your contact information, your email, and you upload that, that's a violation. You cannot have any type of branding on MLS images, okay? That has to be Photoshop or cannot be included as part of your photos, okay? Even if you have a business card in one of the images, you cannot have that. That's considered a violation, okay? Number 3, late entry of the listing. Rule number 7.8, listings must be entered into the invoice within. Absolutely, okay. Now, technically, it should be one business day, okay, 1 day, okay. Now, you'll get away with the 2-day provision, but as soon as you start inputting all of the information on the MLS, you should have it either coming soon, active, or at least registered, okay? Registered. What does register mean? That means if you're not going to put it active immediately, you still must register the property to be in compliance with clear cooperation policy. Okay? Because if they find out that you're promoting a property and it's not registered or on the MLS, that's a violation. Minimum fine is $2,500 up to $5,000. Why do I know that? Because it happened to one of our agents, not here, but at the other office. And guess what? I got reprimanded too for that. Okay? I had nothing to do with it, but I got reprimanded and I had to go through an arbitration. Now, shame on Simon, as the supervising broker is not overseeing our agents. So don't put in that position, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm top hits.
Yeah.
You violation?
No, I did not. Surprisingly, yeah, it was basically a slap in the hand. And in all essence, please make sure you're diligent, folks. Diligent, okay? We're excited. I get it. We got a listing. I get it, okay? But you got to be in compliance. This is why it's important to understand every element and how this works. Yes.
Pocket listing, off market listing, and you register it, you don't need to do anything about it.
If you register it, you're in compliance. But what you cannot do is you cannot promote it in any social platforms. You can now directly, if you have direct contact with any person on your database, yeah, I can say I have this off-market potential property. If you're interested, we can see and make an appointment to see it. That's perfectly fine. But it's when you do mass promotion, social media, any other type of third-party websites, then that's an issue. Does that make sense? Any questions on number 3? Yes.
So, how to phrase this? So if you have a coming soon, how long can you promote that as a coming soon before you move that to active?
Yeah, good question. So the question is about coming soon. Coming soon is 21 days from the time that you put it as coming soon. Now remember, coming soon, it runs. So even if you put it on hold, it's still going to run. It doesn't give you the extended time. So if I put it today, 21 days from today, it'll go active. Even if you put it on hold, and then 3, 4, 5 days later, you put it back to coming soon, it's not going to allow you. It's still going to run the time of 21 days. So when you thought, oh, I put it on hold, that means it doesn't run the time. No, it'll still run the time. And what happens is after 21 days, it'll go active. Now, the other question I get is coming soon. What if I don't need the 21 days, but I only need 5 days? That's fine. That's the beauty. You can actually go 5 days and then put it as active. Make sense? Okay.
After putting it 21, we can reduce the rules. Or from the beginning, you should decide.
No. What we're saying is you have 21 days. In between the 21 days, you can put it active.
Okay.
On the 7th day, on the 10th day, you don't have to write the whole 21 days. Okay? Cool.
Not showing until we come out.
Okay?
Not showing until we come out.
Correct. Number 4, misuse of public remarks. Public remarks must be described. The property only do not include agents' contact information, showing instructions, or promotional content. Remember, there's a description part of the MLS that's only information on the property. Okay. I also want you to be very diligent, because if you put 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, the system will alert that you're trying to use that as compensation. So be careful, because it does red flag it. And then I get a lot of calls on it. Simon, it says that I'm in violation, that I'm trying to promote it as compensation. And then when I read it is, I already know what it is, because you put 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. Well, in real estate commissions, 2%, 1.5%, right? So it red flags it. So moving forward, one of the hacks is, instead of writing the number, do 2, TW, okay? And that should help eliminate that hiccup, okay, on descriptions.
In the
What's that?
The artificial intelligence, I hate it.
Whatever. Okay? The other thing on description is no contact information of your information. Simon, please call me, here's my number, right? None of that stuff, it's gonna get flagged. It's gonna get flagged, okay? Also, agent remarks and public remarks, again, be very cautious in what you put in there as well, right? Because that can also flag and it won't allow you to put it from pending to active or vice versa. Number 5, inaccurate listing information, rule 8.3. Verify details like square footage, listing status, providing incorrect information mislead clients and agents and can result in penalties. All right, so this is one of the biggest ones that I see quite often is if you don't know, ask. All right, because I see this quite often. How do you reference a property if a property says on the tax roll a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but the seller is telling you that's not a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, it's actually a 4-bedroom, 3-bath? How do you reference that? Okay, Fred.
I'm gonna share something that personally happened, a house next door to me. The owner had a stroke. He was a realtor, but he's also a contractor. He turned a 4-bedroom, 3-bath into an 8-bedroom, 4-bath. And he actually listed it with somebody that we know and listed it as a triplex. And, with me, it's kind of hard for me not to say anything, but how do you deal with that when this is a triplex? He says it's an 8-bedroom, 3-bath. It says MLS, but then public record, it says 4-bedroom, 3-bath.
Well, there's a discrepancy and you got to be very careful because remember, buyers buy what they see, right? What they read. And this can compromise that because if they believe they're buying a triplex, but it's actually a single family residence, that's a huge discrepancy. Taxes are wrong, insurances can be also not approved because of all that, and value as well, right? And now that compromises the seller and also the agent of exposure for liability. So this is why it's very important, right? If there is something that you're uncertain, please reach out. We're here to help and support. Yes.
Where do you go to verify this information?
You do a couple of things. You can do the tax information and it'll tell you all the characteristics of the property. You can ask the seller as well, look, what documentation do you have to back it up? Maybe they did it by permits, they did it by a general contractor, they added square footage, added a bedroom, and we can verify because part of the status is where's this information coming from? Well, it's coming from the seller, okay? So tell me how you came with the additional bedroom, right? Well, here's the renderings or the blueprints of the property. Here's where it shows. You may just not ever update it with the tax assessors. Okay, if you remember, a couple months back, we had one of the assessors here, and they said that you have to report it immediately to them so they can update their systems. Because just because the city gets the permit to start construction doesn't necessarily mean that the city connects with the assessors. That's why the seller has to be proactive, right? And going to the tax assessors to make sure that it aligns. Because there's a lot of renovations happening, a lot of increase of square footage, right? From a 3-bedroom to maybe now 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Or maybe a 1,500 square foot to a 2,000 square foot property, right? As long as we can verify it, then we can provide that as material fact to the buyer so the buyer can do their own research and due diligence regarding the property. Make sense?
So it's going to be listed just like in the tax,
Yes, sir.
not physical.
No, you have access to
It's
the,
1 bedroom, but the access only 3.
yeah, so and here's the other thing that I see quite often. Well, how do we promote it on the MLS if it is a 4, but it only shows as a 3? Well, you need to reference that and say you're going to put a remarks. You're going to disclose that as part of it as well. Tax roll says this, seller is telling us this. How did we verify that? Well, here's the information from the city or something to that nature.
It's not an violation. We can put.
You want to put it on agent remark, you're going to also put it on seller disclosures to protect the seller, that we divulge, because there is always errors. Believe me, I've seen houses that show 1 bedroom and it's a 3 bedroom. Now, I've seen 0 bedrooms with 1 bath, so there's no bedroom, just a toilet. I'm getting, there's discrepancies, but someone has to update that information. Make sense? Okay. Any questions regarding this? Yes, ma'am.
So if it's on the MLS as a triplex and the seller says it says that it's it says that it's a triplex, but the public records says it's a single family house, whose responsibility is it to update that? The sellers?
It's always the seller's responsibility. They're the owners of the property. So if they're going to be selling a piece of real estate, it is up to their responsibility, right? To make sure that the information that we're going to promote is accurate. I'm not going to list a property as a triplex when I know it's a single family residence and it shows that. I'm going to dig in deeper and ask more questions. Well, tell me more, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, why you feel that this is a triplex. Yeah. Because that's your job, right? You're consulting. Yeah.
It's telling me, I'm telling the seller, hey, public record is saying this is not a triplex, this is a single family house. Oh, that happened. We'll fix that. I said, well, I'm not taking my buyer to see this. We're thinking there's one thing, and you're telling me it's on the public records as a single family. He's not saying I'm gonna go fix. He said, oh, we do this all the time.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yes. Come over here so we can hear you, and then we'll go with you, Coco. What's your question?
Real quick, the question is, what liabilities do you have as a buyer's agent for, say, if you do hypothetically go into contract with like a single family home that's 4-bed, 3-bath on being promoted as 4-bed, 3-bath, but on title it's like a 3-2.
Got it. I don't see any liability on the buyer's agent. It's obviously a good point to, have them speak with an attorney if this goes sideways, right? Because again, the issue is where it boils and it goes left field is when there's a disagreement, okay? And usually something like this will come up with either an appraisal issue or the lender will come up and says, look, we cannot lend on this because there's a discrepancy. So in hopes that happens in the forefront of the pending escrow, you can stop it and squash it, extend the time necessary so they can all do their due diligence. The problem is when it's a cash deal and they buy and close the deal and then they find out that it wasn't actually what it was originally sold by. So Coco and then Steve, please.
I was just gonna add that there was a great fire in LA city history that destroyed a number of years of those records of those updated homes and their number of bedrooms, baths, square footage, all of that was destroyed. So if you ever do come across one, it's not always a bad thing. It just may actually be a paper record that the owner could have on hand that has not been re-recorded into the system. It was back when the system was not at all digital. So we're talking about a decade or so of recordings of all the different changes to properties that were completely destroyed. So
Good point. Good point. Thank you, Coco. Yes, Steve.
I mean, additionally, to answer the question is what happens when you are a buyer's agent and tax records is reflecting one, MLS is showing another, okay? One of the things is, first of all, making sure that your buyer is actually aware prior to writing their offer, okay? Because the worst thing you want to happen is for them to find out the tax roll is reflecting different once they own the home, and that's the first time they're finding out that information. So first and foremost, making sure they have that information even prior to writing an offer. Secondly, then, if their offer is then accepted, okay, to make sure it is put in your disclosures. Buyer is aware that tax rolls are reflecting 4 bedrooms, 3-bath, or 3-bedroom, 2-bath, yet the property is reflecting 4-bedroom, 2, the larger amount. Also applying a little common sense as well, okay, as a buyer's agent, referring to if the tax rolls are reflecting a 1,200 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2-bath home, And now MLS, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but the square footage is still based on your common sense of going through the home, you recognize, yeah, this is still probably 1,200 square feet of living space. Most likely, they just reconfigured the interior, maybe with or without permits, okay? I have the same thing actually on my own home. My home is a 5-bedroom home. On paper, it's reflecting 4 bedrooms, okay? But the square footage is accurate, okay? And so when I sell my house, I will be disclosing tax rolls reflecting 4 bedroom, yet it's a 5-bedroom. So really it's again about disclosure, that your clients are aware.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, thank you very much. Homa.
So for tax or checking and realist or.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That's a reliable.
Yeah. And also, you can also go to the assessor's website too, as well, plug in the address, and then it'll provide you with the characteristics of the property. You can go right to the assessor's tax, the LA County or the city, the LA County assessors, and then it'll provide you.
City Hall have the answers? City Hall?
I don't think City Hall. You would have to, well, yeah, I mean, the city planner, depending on what city, yeah, you can check and verify, they should. Like the city of Los Angeles has the, what they call, what's that website? Zimas, and that is a really detailed, report of a specific, property. It's called Zimas.com, right? Zimas,
Zimas.
yeah. Yeah, Zimas, great, resource, yes.
So what if the garage was transformed into a room? We list as garage to garage.
Yeah, so, and that's a good point. What if a garage was converted into a non-permitted ADU, right? That's a gray area.
Depending on the city.
What's that?
Depending on the city, they'll make you convert it back.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know this climate, no.
Yeah. It all really depends, yes.
Say that with the square footage of the house, like that.
Typically, no, that's separate from the actual house. Now, it depends if it's attached, Steve,
No.
even attached.
Garages and even patio rooms are not considered part of the square footage, even when a patio room is permitted.
Whether attached or detached?
Attached or detached, okay, patio rooms, okay, is not part of living square footage. And definitely not a garage. A garage, even if it's built as a garage, if it was originally built as a garage and the homeowner drywalled it, the whole bit, and that is, unless they got it permitted as such. Once it becomes permitted, then it is, okay, through city permits.
Got it. Great questions, guys. I know we can have a conversation for hours on this. So again, I'm going to be providing you with these types of updates. I had another presentation, but that's going to be for the next team meeting just because of lack of time. All right, upcoming events. The local, what is this? The area coastal is having their masquerade event. That's tomorrow, I believe, at 6 p.m. So if you're interested, I know she came in here and talked about it. It is going to be at the Lucid studio or the dealership here on Hawthorne in the city of Torrance, if you're interested in being part of that. Just a reminder, we have our real estate contract classes every Friday from 10:30 to 11:30. I will be touching on contingencies, timelines, and cancellations. And many will be hosting producers, guest speaker, Maria, this Friday, 8 o'clock. And then Brandon will be doing his CIAS designation training. Great thing. Great training when it comes to understanding investments and multifamily cap rates, return on your investments. He has all of the calculations that if you become a member, you get part of the training. So that'll be May 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. And then Jose with My NHD will be doing My Has Check Thursday, June 5th, 12 to 1 p.m. Updates, fire zones, changes to the NHD report. And that concludes our team meeting. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, can't get any music here. Sorry. We're starting class.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Yeah. And now,
No, it's.